Good morning, everyone. Good
Good morning, sir.
morning. Good morning. Right. And today we are going to discuss our new lesson. Right. Lesson number 18, percentages. Right. Percentages. Everyone, have last liya ka puti topic ka percentages. Percentages. Ano na mo mau? Tidak sih? Ya. Okay. Percentages. Right. The first subheading is expressing a fraction as a percentage, right? Expressing a fraction, right? Now we are going to discuss how to represent as a percentage, fractions into the percentage, right? Subheading, expressing a fraction as a percentage. Now this is a method. Any fraction, any fraction into the percentage, we are going to the multiplying by the 100%, by the 100, right? And you know the percentage mark, right? Any fraction, how to change as a percentage? What is the method? Multiplying by the 100%, right? Now listen to examples. And this one is a first example, half. And we know the very simple thing about the fractions, half. Now tell me, how to change as a percentage? The method is multiplying by the 100%. Now listen, half, you need to multiply by the 100%, 100, right? Now you know the denominator of the 100 is a 1. Therefore, you can simplify up and down 2 times 1 and the 2 times 50. Now 50 multiplied by the 1, then answer becomes 50%. You have to put the percentage mark. And this is the answer for the first example. I think this one's very easy method, right? Now listen, second example. I'm going to take as a 2 over 5. 2 over 5. Now what is the method? 2 over 5. We need to multiply by the 100. Now look at this. 105, you know, we can simplify. How? 5 times 1 is a 5. And 100 also we can write as a 5 times 20. Now answer becomes 2 multiplied by the 20. Then answer becomes 40%. 40%. Right. Now I'm going to discuss the mixed number, right? Like this. Third one, mixed numbers. Uh, 2, 4, 3. Like this. Now this is a mixed number. How to change as a percentage? Same method. You need to write as the product with 100. You need to multiply by the 100. But in this case, our first step should be a mixed number change into the improper fractions, right? Now tell me, Savini, how to change as improper fraction, mixed number into the improper? Tell me the answer. What is the answer, Savini? 11 over 4. Yeah, well done. Because why? 4 times 2 is 8, and 8 by 3, we know we have to add. 4 times 2 is 8, and 8 plus 3 becomes as 11, and 11 over 4. Now I am going to multiply by the 100%, right? Now 4 times 1 and 4 times 25, and we know 4 times 25 is 100. Now 11 multiplied by the 25. Oh, now what is the answer? 25 times 1 is 25. 2 remainders. 25 times 1 is also 25, and 2 and 27, 275%. 275%. Right. I think, and this is a method. What is a method? Any fraction, how to change as a percentage? You need to multiply by the 100. That's it. Right? Everyone, හැමෝටම එක තේරුණාද කොහොමද? Yes. Yeah. අපි note down කරගමු දැන්. Well done. නියමයි. හරි පුතේ. නියමයි. Now this is a method how to write as a percentage. Right? Any fraction you can write as a percentage. Right. Now I'm going to look in the example number 4 with there are no simplifications to denominator. Right? Like this. Example number 4. අපි ගමු මෙහෙම එකක්. Uh, yeah, two-thirds. 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 Now, what is the method? And you know the method. Any fraction, අපිට අදාළ නෑනේ. Any fraction, you need to multiply by the 100%. You need to multiply with the 100. Now tell me, look at the up and down. Here is 100 and this is a 3, number 3, and 3 and 100 we cannot simplify. So now what to do? By right? Just multiply. Just multiply. How to multiply? 100 into the 2. Then answer becomes 200 divided by 3. Now 200 divided by 3. This is a improper fractions. Now we need to change as a mixed number, right? Now I am going to divide. One divide can put 2 we cannot divide by the 3. Now we are looking for the 2-digit number. 20 divided by 3 is a 6, and 6 times 3 is a 18. Again 2 remainders. 2 and 0 it becomes as a 20 again 6. Now how many remainders? 2 remainders. 2 remainders, and this is the percentage value. This is the percentage value, right? Hamodom make a theory. There is a denominator becomes as a not simplifying by the 100. Therefore, we cannot simplify. Therefore, I am going to multiply. 100 times 2 is a 200. 200 divided by 3. This one is a improper fractions. We cannot stay as the answer. Then we are going to the change as a mixed number. 200 divided by 3 is a 66, and we still has a 2 remainders. 2 remainders. Now, this is the final answer. Hammer තේරුණාද? Yeah. නියමයි. හරි. අපි ලස්සට මේක ලියාගෙන මට කරලා පෙන්නන්න මෙන්න මේ ගාන. මේක නම් ලේසි. Question number 5. That's very easy. Three or 10. That's a very easy thing. Put your answers into chat as a percentage. You need to multiply by the 100. That's the easy thing. 30%. Yeah. Now I'm going to simplify. Multiplying by the 100. Now 0 and 0 eliminated. That means it's 10 times 1 and 10 times 10. Now 3 multiplied by 10. It should be a 30%. Nearby. 30%. Super. 30%. Right. Now I am going to the next example. No, sorry. Next subheading. Now the reversal thing. What's the reversal thing about this? The first one, fraction into the percentage. Now I'm going to discuss percentage into the fractions, right? Percentage into the fractions. Now, write the topic, expressing a percentage as a fraction. Expressing percentage into the fractions. Percentage into the fraction. Right. Now listen. Now listen. Fraction into the percentage, the method is of multiplying by the 100%. Multiply by the 100, right? And how about this reversal thing about? Converse thing. What is the converse thing? You need to multiply by the 1 over 100. 1 over 100. Now first one is multiplying by the 100. Now percentage into the fractions, you need to multiply by the 1 over 100. Now this is the method. Hari, අපි ලස්සන පුතේ method එක ලියා ගමු. You need to multiply by the 1 over 100. That means dividing by the 100, right? Dividing by 100 means you need to multiply by the 1 over 100. Write the note. This is your note. මේක ලස්සන දවලේ තියෙන්න ඕන. Expressing a percentage into the fractions. Right. Now, this is a example number 1, right? 20, 20%. Example number 2, Mandana, 3.5%. And example number 3, 60%. Now listen, these are the percentage values. Now this is example number 1, 20%. How to change as a fractions now? And you know 20, you need to multiply by the 1 over 100. 1 over 100. Now you know the method. 20 times 1 and 20 times 5. Now answer becomes 1 into 1 is a 1 and there is a 5, 1 over 5, 1 over 5, 1 over 5. This is example number 1. Now look at this. This one is like a mixed number. Firstly, we need to change as an improper fraction. Now tell me 2 times 3, 6 and 6, 1 is a 7. 7 over 2, you need to multiply by the 1 over 100. There are no simplifications with up and downs numbers. 7 and 100 we cannot simplify, right? 2 and 1 we cannot simplify. Now just I am going to multiply 7 into the 1, 7, as well as a 2 times 100, it becomes as a 200. Maybe in a fraction, nigga. Sure. That's a very easy trick, right? Now, this one is 60%. 60, you need to multiply by the 1 over 100. And you know, this one, 0 and 0, we can simplify as well as 6 and 10. 6 and 10. 6 and 10, you can simplify with number 2. Now, 2 times 3 as well as 2 times 5. Now answer becomes 3 times 1, it becomes as a 3. Now here is a 5. Now 5 over 3. 5 over 3. 5 over 3. Right. හැමෝම මේක ඔලුවට දාගත්තද? කොහොමද තත්ත්වය? නියමයි. නිමල්ක, well done. Savini, Dirk, Yanara.
Yes,
Good.
sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, Yanara, right. Now know these examples. Hurry up. Okay. Now we are going to the next topic. Rasa liyakan selama. Imal ka done? Yeah. Right. Now write the topic. Ratios and percentages. Ratios and percentages. Ratios and percentages. Ratios and percentages. Right. Now, firstly, we are going to discuss how to write a ratio relevant to the percentages, right? Now, write the subheading as writing a ratio corresponding to a percentage, right? That means percentage, how to write as a ratios, right? Write the subheading again, writing a ratio corresponding to a percentage, to a percentage, to a percentage. Writing a ratio corresponding to the percentage. Right. Now look at this. This is the first example. Just we are looking the first example like this. Now let us see so how to write the ratio corresponding to the percentage. It's a 30%, right? 30%, right? බලන්න 30%, right? What's with the cent? Century, නේ අපි දන්නෝනේ cent කියලා කියන්නේ කීයද පුතේ 100 නේද? 100, right? Now 30. දැන් fraction percentage එකේ නම කියවනකොටම උත්තරේ ගත්තා, right? Half 30%, right? Therefore 30%, this is a 30%. Now we can write as a ratio, it's like a 30 to 100. And you know, percent means percent. සියයකට කොච්චරක්ද කියන එක නේ. Therefore, this was very easy thing. Now 30% you can write as a 30 to 100. 30 to 100. 30%, right? 30%. Cent means 100, right? Therefore, 30 and 100. Now, this is not a simple form, and you know the ratios now, right? Now, you can write as a simple form. We discussed in the earlier lessons, right? Now, how to simplify? 10 times 3 as well as a 10 times 10. Now, this is the final answer as a 30%, right? එහෙනම් පුතේ 30% කියන කෙනාව අපිට ලියන්න පුළුවන් මෙන්න මේ විදියට. right? Hamo mulur dagatto meka? Yes, right. Then balu ready. Oh, then then balu apa example stick. Right. Now look at this. Example number one. Uh, 25%. Right, 25%. Second one, 40%. Third one, I'm going to answer 120%. 120%. Now let's see how to do that. 25% means 25 into the 100. 25 to 100. Now 25 and 100, and you know we can simplify. How? 25 and 100, both numbers we can simplify with 25, because 25 times 1 as well as a 25 times 4 is 100. The answer is a 1 to 4. 1 to 4. Now look at the second example. 40%. Now you can write as a 40, that means 100. Now again, 20 times 2 is a 40. 20 times 5 is a 100. Now 2 to 5. 2 to 5. Right. Now look at the third one. 120. 120%. Now cent is 100. Now look at this. The both numbers you can simplify with cut 0 0 and pull on 20 times 6. 20 times 5. 65, 65, 65, right? And this is simplifications order, right? Now this one you can simplify with cut the 0 0 and 4 and 10, 2 times 2, 2 times 5. In this case, cut 0 and 0, right? And 12 and 10, both numbers you can divide by 2. 12 divided by 2, 6. 10 divided by 2, 5. Right. These are the three examples how to write percentage into the ratios. Yeah? Yes. Now, note down these examples. Well done. Good. Dirk. Good morning, Dirk. Come on, තේරුණාද? Yeah. Okay. Right. Now I'm going to discuss with percentage, but that's it's like a mixed numbers, right? This is example number 4. දැන් මෙහෙම question එකක් ආවොත් කොහොමද හදන්නේ? Right? This is very important. Like these questions, like a mixed questions. අපි ගමු මේක 12 and half. 12 and half percent. Right. Now this is a question. Now we are going to write as a ratios, right? 12 and half. And you know the method. What is the method? 12 and half percent. What's means of percent? 100. Right. Now in this case, this one is a mixed number. Now what to do? This one is a mixed number. Yeah. Change as an improper. අපි දන්නවනේ නේද? 2 times 12 is a 24 plus 1 it becomes as a 25 over 2 into the 100. Now in this case, this one is like a fraction. Now this is a denominator. We have to eliminate this denominator. මල්ල වාදයක් නෙමේක. නේ. 2 කියන එක නම අයින් කරගමු. How to eliminate the number 2? And you know 25 divided by 2. Therefore I am going to multiply by the 2. Both terms. This one I am going to multiply by 2 because denominator is 2. එහෙනම් මට කියන්න බලන්න it becomes as a අපි ගමු මෙහෙම එකක් ආවයි කියලා. 36 and over 5. 200. මෙහෙම එකක් ආවා. Now what to do? You have to eliminate the 5. Now what to do? කියන්න බලන්න මොකද කරන්න ඕනේ?
Multiply by 5.
Multiply by the 5.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. Well done, right? Multiply by the 5. Both sides you need to multiply by the 5. In this case, you have to multiply by the 2, and this one you are gonna multiply by the 2. Now 2 2 chakabas day. 1 2 2 you are right. Now answer becomes 25 to 200. Now we are looking for the simplifications. 25 and 200. Yes, you can simplify because 25 times 4 is 100. ඒක අපි දන්නවා. Therefore, 25 times 8, it should be a 200. Now, 25 times 1 and 25 times 8 is a 200. Now, 1 to 8. 1 to 8. And this is a way how to write as a mixed numbers as a percentages into the ratios. මේක වැදගත් question එක. Right. එහෙනම් අපි ලස්සන ලියමු පුතේ. මට මේ ගාන හදලා පෙන්නන්න. Okay. Right. Now find the answer for this one. Try එකක් දෙමු තනියම හැමෝම. Baru set ka damu answer ka पहिला. It's like a mixed number with percentage. 4, 3 or 8. Okay, now I am going to discuss, right? In this situation, you know, you can write as 8 times 4 or 4, 3 over 8 to the 100%. Now this one's a mixed number. I am going to change as a improper. 8 times 4, 32 plus 3 becomes as a 35. 35 over 8. The percentage is 100. Now this denominator becomes as 8. Now I am going to multiply by the 8. Both sides I am going to multiply by the 8. Both sides. That's the method. Now 8 and 8 on the right? Now 35. This is the 35. Now this one becomes as a 800. Right? Now we are going to simplifications. Simplify yes, and you know last digit becomes as a 0, last digit becomes as a 5. You can simplify with number 5. Any number with last digit 0 or 5, that's number divisibility by the number 5 without remainders, right? Now 35 divided by 5 is a 7. Now 800 I am going to divide by the 5. Or divide karne 8 divided by 5 is a 1. 3 remainders. 3 and 0, 30. 30 is a 6. And put the 0. Now this is the answer. This is the answer. Right? හැමෝටම තේරුණාද මේක? Yes. Tirasha? පුතා. හරි? Yeah. And Savini good. Jenara? You understood dua?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah. Niyama. Now another reversal thing about this one. Now we did how to change as a percentage into the ratios. Now what is a reversal thing? Ratio you need to write as a percentage, right? Now writing a percentage corresponding to a ratio, write a subheading. Writing a percentage corresponding to a ratio. Corresponding to a ratio. Right. Uh, this one. Now we are going to let's see how to express the ratio 1 to 4 as a percentage. 1 to 4. Now look at this. This is example number 1. This is a ratio 1 to 4. 1 to 4. 1 to 4. This is very important. There are several methods, but I'm going to tell as a simplest method with the fractions, right? Now, 1 to 4. Any ratio you can write as a fraction. අපිට පුතේ ratio එකක් ලියන්න පුළුවන් fraction එකක් විදිහට. Now, right? Now we are going to discuss about the ratio, how to change as a percentage. Firstly, I'm going to change as a percentage. Before the percentage, I'm going to change as a fraction. Now, this one is numerator and this one is it's like a denominator. Now, 1 over 4, you can write as a like this. Wow, that's easy thing, right? 1 to 4, that makes it as a fraction 1 over 4, right? Now, look at the second example. Right. Now tell me, what is the relevant fraction to this ratio? කියන්න බලන්න හැමෝම එන උත්තරේ.
2
Well
over
done.
5.
2 over
2
5,
over
right?
5.
Well done. Niyamai. 2 over 5. And now we already discussed about the how to change as a fractions into the percentages. කාටද මතක? Fraction into the percentage. What is the method? You need to multiply by the 100. Multiply by the 100. Any percentage, any fraction, how to change as a percentage? Multiply by the 100. Now you can simplify. How to simplify? 4 times 1 and 4 times 25. Now 25 times 1, it should be a 25%. Niyamai. Dekkada very super. Now look at this. 2 over 5 you can write as a multiply by the 100. Now 5 times 1 and 5 times 20 and 2 multiply by the 20. Now answer becomes 40%. How easy. Maramalesi cheese right. Right. Please note down these examples. අපි රසම එක ලියාගමු. මට තනියම මේ ගන්න හදලා පෙන්නන්න. This is the third one. As a percentage. Animal could say that as answer becomes 16%. Yeah. Well done. The answer is correct. It should be a 16%. Tirasha, are you sure? Check again. Tirasha, apa warna putih? Ah, because 4 times 4 can be 8 dah. Tirasha? Haha. Already ahura. 4 times 4, 16. Yes. දැක්කනේ මට පොත පේන්න තු මම දන්නවා කරන දේ ඉතින් ඈ. Right, 4 times 4, 60. Right, now listen. This one you can write as a fraction, right? How to write as a fraction? 4 over 25. Now I'm going to multiply by the 100. Now 25 times 1 and the 25 times 4 as well as 4 times 4 should be a 16%. වැඩ තිබ්බා වගේ තියෙන්න ඕන. නියමයි. Now good. Samini, දුවට තේරෙනවද මේක? Samini?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Right. Now, write the next other subheading. Calculating the corresponding percentage when a certain quantity from a total amount is given. Total amount is given. Now we are going to calculating percentage, corresponding percentage, right? When a certain quantity from total amount is given. Maramalese there. Write the subheading. Calculating percentage. Now we got to find the percentage. Percentage එක තමයි හොයන්න ඕනේ. Right. Now look at these sums, right? Expressing the first value of the each pair given below as a percentage of the second value. Now first one, 200 grams from 1 kilogram. 200 grams from 1 kilogram, right? 1 kilogram. Now look at this. The first one is a gram and the second quantity is a kilogram. Then ending, right? Then ending, right? There are two different units. Firstly, we need to change as a into the same unit, right? And what is the smallest unit? Kilogram or gram? What is the smallest unit?
Gram.
Gram. And tell me, Dirk, can you tell me what is the relationship between the grams and the kilograms? How many grams in 1 kilogram?
1,000 grams.
Yes, 1,000 grams. Therefore, you need to change kilogram into the grams, right? Firstly, I'm going to change as a 1 kilogram, change as a grams. And you know the method, multiply by the 1,000. Multiply by 1,000. Then answer becomes 1,000 grams, and this is a 200 grams. Now you can write as a ratio. Now you can write as a fraction. Now you can write as a percentage also, right? Now look at this. This is a first quantity and this is a second quantity. Now therefore you can write as a fractions. How to write as a fractions? 200 out of 1,000. කොච්චරකින් කොච්චරක්ද? Now this is a fraction. but we need to change as a percentage. And you know the method, so multiply by the hundredth year, right? Multiply by the 100. Now look at this. Two zeros, two zeros. And look at the up one. Again, you can cut the 0 and 0 also. Now answer becomes just 20%. Mm-hmm. 20%. 20%. That's easy, right? First, see, unit change as the same units and write as a fraction, then change into the percentage. That are the steps. That's a simple steps, right? First thing, unit change as units and the same units and write as a fractions, then change into the percentages, right? Example number one. Then find the answer for this one. Second one, 25 cm from 1 meter. Put the answers into chat. Answers දාන්න පුතේ. 25 cm from 1 meter. 25 cm. And the second quantity is a 1 meter. Let's see, yeah? Now, what is the relation between the centimeters and meters? And centimeters is smallest unit. Therefore, this is a greatest one, meter. And relationship between the centimeters and meters. And you know, 100 cm, 100 centimeters is equals to the 1 meter. Therefore, meter, 1 meter you can change as a centimeters by multiplying by 100. Now this one becomes as a 100 centimeters. Now this one is a 25 centimeters. Now you can write as a fraction. How write as a fraction? 25 out of 100. Now this is a fraction. Now multiply by the 100. Tan, ta, tan. No. You are right. Now answer becomes 25 percent, 25%. Understood? Hammer mo tayo buti mega? Tirasa? Dirk, Saviri, Inara? Yeah. Good. Good, 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 good. Anyway, now we're going to the next topic. Now write the subheading as finding the quantity corresponding to percentage, but when the percentage and the total amount are given. That's a so easy thing again. Now write the topic. When the percentage and the total amount are given. Percentage check and total amount check. You have to find the values, right? Corresponding the percentage and the total value. Okay. Now look at this. If a man saves 5% from his monthly salary of 20,000 rupees. Now tell me what is the value for his monthly salary? 20,000, right? Monthly salary ka tamay pute 20,000. And he saves to 5% from his monthly salary. Kotsaraking kotsarad. Therefore, 5% of his monthly salary. Now, how much of the money does he save? That's very easy thing. Now you can write as a 5%, 5% of his monthly salary, of his monthly salary. And you know his monthly salary is equals to the 20,000. Therefore, 5% of 20,000 rupees. Right. This is a method. Right. Now you know 5% you can write as a fraction. 5%. 5% means 5 over 100. That is the meaning of the fractions. 5%. Matakan 5 out of 100. Therefore, of means multiplication. Now this is a 20,000. 20,000. Now two zeros and cut two zeros. Now answer becomes 5 multiplied by the 200. It should be a 1,000 rupees. එනම් මේ මනුස්සයා යාගේ සැලරි එකකින් රුපියල් 1000ක් ඉතුරු කරනවා. He saves 1,000 rupees from his monthly salary, right? And this is a method. 5% of his monthly salary. He saves 5% of his monthly salary. Therefore, 5% of 20,000 is his monthly salary. You need to count 5% is equal to the 5 over 100. Now, 5 over 100 of means multiplication by the 20,000. Now, two zeros you have to cut, and 5 times 200 is becomes as a 1,000 rupees. හැමෝටම තේරුණාද මේ කතන්දරේ? Yes, නියමයි. අපි ලියාගමු දෙන්න. Hurry up. Next is example number 1. Right. Now this is a work. Exercise number 18.5, and write the exercise number 18.5. Exercise 18.5, and the question number is a number 4. Don't write the questions, just only question number. Put the question number, put the exercise number, and find the answers for the question number 4. Right. And this is the question number 4. Right. There are two Roman numbers, two sub numbers. Then you have to find the answers for that two questions. Right. අපි ලස්සන try කරමු පුතේ හැමෝම. try කරලා උත්තරේ හොයමු බලන්න. හැමෝම try එකක් දෙමු. Right. Well done, Nirara. අපි බලමු පුතේ answers ටික දැන්. A person travels 60% of journey by train. Right? Look at this. A person travels 60% of journey. 60%. And now put 60% by train. By train. As well as 35% by bus. 35% by bus. And the rest of the journey by taxi. ඉතුරු ටික මේ තමයි rest. එයා ඉතුරු ටික යනවලු by taxi. By taxi. Now the total distance of journey is of 140 kilometers, right? එහෙනම් මෙන්න මේ total එක කියලා කියන්නේ මෙයාගේ සම්පූර්ණ දුර 140 kilometers. And this is the total journey, total distance of a journey, 140 kilometers. Now question number 1. Find the distance traveled by train. Maralesin. Therefore 60% of 140 kilometers, right? 60% is Roman number 1. 60% of 140 kilometers. Now you know 60% means 60 over 100. 60%, right? 60 over 100. Multiply by the 140. Now 0 and 0 you have to cut, and 0 and 0 again you can cut. Now 6 multiplied by the 14. Now then answer becomes 6 times 4 24, and 2 remainders, and 6 is 84. 84 kilometers. Yeah, moderni. By train. 84 kilometers. Yeah, well done. Niyamai Uttar Pradesh supiri. Now, Roman number 2. Uh, find the distance traveled by bus. Bus එකෙන් ගියපු ටික අපෙන් අහන්න. ඒකත් ලේසි. 35%. Therefore, 35% of 140 kilometers. Then 35% you can write as a 35 over 100 of multiplied by the 140. 0 and 0 you can cut, and again the dividing by the 10 is so easy thing, but you can simplify also, right? Like 10 is 2 times 5 and 2 times 7. Again you can simplify 5 times 1 and 5 times 7. දැක්කද කපපු බං ආපහු කියන්න. 0 and 0, and this one becomes 14, and this one becomes 10. 10 and 40 you can simplify number 2. 14 becomes 7 because 2 times 7 14, and 2 times 5 is a 10. Now 5 times 1 is a 5, as well as a 5 times 7 is a 35. Now 7 into 7, it should be a 49 kilometers. 49 kilometers. හරිද? බැරි වෙලාවක් හරි ටැක්සි එකෙන් කියලා ඇහුවනම්. Now find the answer for the distance traveled by the taxi. මට ලස්සන උත්තර හොයන්න බලමු taxi එකෙන් කොච්චරද කියලා. හැමෝම. That's an extra question, right? Taxi by taxi. කොච්චරක් ගියාද කියලා හොයමු. හරියට. Lazy. Right. Now this was very easy thing, because why? 84 kilometers traveled by the train, and we found 49 kilometers traveled by the bus. The total journey becomes as 140 kilometers. The rest traveled by the taxi. Through taking a taxi එකෙන් යන්නේ. එනකොට මොකද කරන්න තියෙන්නේ? You need to subtract the sum of the distance traveled by the train and the by bus. 84 plus 49, you need to subtract from the 140. And this is the first method. ළමයට උන උත්තර මෙහෙම හදන්න පුළුවන්. Now answer becomes 9 and 4 13, 1 remainders, and again 13. Now answer becomes 7 kilometers. මෙයා taxi එකෙන් තමයි යන්නේ. And this is a method number 1. Right? තව එකක් තියෙනවා. Look at this. 60% travel by train. 35% travel by bus. Now what is the rest? How to find the rest? Then total should be 100%. එහෙනම් මේ තුනම පුතේ total එකනේ. This one should be 100%. Now 60 and 35 becomes as a 95. Therefore rest should be a 5%. The rest should be a 5%. Therefore the second method is by taxi. 5%. 5% of 140 kilometers. Now you can write as a 5 over 100 multiplied by the 140. 0 and 0, 2 times 5, 2 times 7, 5 and 5, then answer becomes 7 kilometers. ළමයට ඕන නම් මෙහෙම හදන්නත් පුළුවන්. Right? 7 kilometers. Right. Right? And this is a question relevant to the our topic. හරිද? ඔන්න මාන ලේසි වැඩි. හරි. Now, right. Now, find the answer for the 5th one also. පස්වෙනි එකත් හදමු පුතේ ලස්සනට හැමෝම. මේකමයි හදමු. Question number 5 relevant to the exercise number 18.5. 18.5. Nghe máy, superb, như nào đó. Good. Wow. Imaka, this one, this is a question relevant to the exercise 18.5 and the question number 5. Right. Now I'm going to discuss. බලපොතේ කොහොමද කරන්න කියලා. Mr. Ranasinghe's monthly salary is 45,000. මේ බලන්න 45,000. And we discuss same questions like this 45,000. And this is his monthly salary. ඇගේ මාසේ පඩිය නේද? මාසේ salary. And he put aside 30% of his salary for food. මේකෙන් කොච්චරක්ද? 30% for food. As well as 20% for transport and 20% transport as well as and the rest of the salary of the other expenses. ඉතුරු ටික other expenses. Other expenses. Rest. 30%, 20%, therefore 30 plus 20 is a 50%. Then other expenses should be a 50%. ඔන්න මම තව අමතර දෙයක් හදලා තියෙනවා. Right. බලමු දැන්. How much does money he put aside of the food? Food. Not Roman number one. Mara lazy. Therefore, food should be a 30%. 30% of monthly salary is a 45,000. 45,000. Now, 30 over 100. This is a fraction relevant to the 30%. Lazy Malaysia 30 over 100. Multiply by the 45,000. Two zeros. And the answer becomes 30 multiplied by the 450. අපි කොහොමද දැන් හදන්නේ පුතේ? Put the two zeros as the two last two digit number, and 3 times 5 is a 15 one remainders and a 12 and 13. 13,500 rupees. 13,500 rupees. 13,500යි නේ. බලමු answers කට්ටියගේ. Yeah, well done. නියමයි. Right? Now, Roman number 2. How much money does he put aside of the transport? Transport, 20%. 20% of monthly salary is 45,000. Now again you can write as a 20% means 20 out of 100. 20 out of 100. Multiply by the 45,000. 0, 0, 0, 0. Then 20 multiplied by the 450. And put the last digit as a 2 zeros. Many zeros the number. 2 times 45 we know 90. Now answer becomes 90,000 rupees. Sorry, 9,000 rupees. 9,000 rupees. In our salary of 45,000 and 13,500 for a food and expenses for its transport is a 9,000 rupees. Mara Malaysia වැඩි. එනාරා හරිනේ පුතේ. නියමයි. Good. Saveni? Okay. Right. Imalka තේරෙනවද මේක පුතේ දැන්? පොඩි කරන්ට් එක උලක් ගියා කිව්වනේ. Right. Now okay. Okay. Now we are going to the next topic, and this is the last topic in our lesson. Right. Find the total amount when a certain quantity and its corresponding percentage are given. Now let's find the total amount. Right. Now listen. Now let us find the total sum of money. The question is if the value of the 10% of the sum is 250 rupees. 10% of the sum is equal to 250. Mara lesi katawa. Now we are going to use the unitary method. මතක ඇති පුතේ. 10% is equals to the 250 rupees. Just only 10%, right? 10% is equals to 250. Now, what is the method of the unitary method? You need to find the answer for a 1%. එකක් හොයාගමු. 1% හොයාගමු. මේ බලන්න වැඩි. Therefore, I'm going to use unitary method. Now I'm going to find the value for a 1%. 10% is equals to the 250. Then how to find the answer for a 1%? You need to divide by the 10. ඇත්තනේ 10ක් 250යි. මාර ලේසි. Right? Therefore, you need to find the answer for 1. Now 0 and 0 eliminate. Then answer becomes 25 rupees. Now this is the answer for a 1%. Then how to find the total amount? And you know total amount means 100%. Total amount is 100%. And this is a total amount. Now 1% is equals to 25 rupees. Therefore 100% you need to multiply by the 100. 25 rupees, then multiply by the 100. We need to find the answer for 100%. Now answer becomes as a 2,500 rupees. 2,500 rupees. Now I think this method is so easy. Now 10% is equals to the 250 rupees. You need to find the answer for a 1%. Unitary method. 1% is a 25 rupees. Therefore, you need to find the answer as a total, and total amount should be 100%. Then 25 is a 1%. Therefore, 100 multiplied by the 100. Now answer becomes 2,500. Lazy lazy. අපි හදුවමු පුතේ. ලස්සන ලියාගමු. Right. Now these are the questions. Now you can find the answer for these questions relevant to your textbook. Exercise number is 18.6 and question number 1 and question number 2. Right? And you can find the answers. Matana make a horrible answer there. You use the unitary method, then find the answer as a total ones. Right. අපි ලස්සනට හඳුන්වමු පුතේ මේ දෙකම. හරිය? අයි බලමු. 7 දුව 4 ඉවරද? Savini, animal ka?
Yes, sir.
Yes, right. Now this is example question number 1 relevant to the textbook. If 30% of a person's salary is a 7,200, how much is his salary? Now 30%, 30%, 30% is equals to the 7,200 rupees. Maralisi veda. Now you can find the answer for 1%. And අපි 1% හොයාගමු. 1%. 1% should be equals to the 7,200. You need to divide by the 36. Sorry, 30. Now 0 and 0 you can cut. As well as 720 you can divide by the 3. 720 you can divide by the 3 because the sum of the digits becomes as a 9. The 9 is a multiples of 3. Therefore, 720 you can divide by 3 without remainders. Now, 7 divided by 3 becomes 2. 1 remainder and 1 and 2, 12 is a 4. 240 rupees. And this is relevant to the 1%. Then how much the total salary? And I mean on a total like a 100%. Therefore, 240 multiplied by the 100. Now answer becomes 24,000 rupees. 24,000 rupees. Yeah, 24,000 rupees. Right? Understood? It's not about the 2,400. It's a 24,000. Okay, Imalka? තේරුණා නේද? 24,000 rupees is monthly salary.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's not only 2,400, right? Now, the attendance of the students of a school on a rainy day was 60%. But that's a 60% right? 60%. If the number of students who attend the school that day was 420 students, therefore 60% should be equals to the 420 students. Now you can find the answer for 1%. 420, you need to divide by the 60. 0 and 0, you have to cut. And 42 divided by 6 is 7 students. Now 1% is 7 students. Then find the answer for the total students. Total number of students becomes as 7 multiplied by the 100. Then answer becomes 700 students. එනම් මෙන්න ළමයි 700ක් ඉන්නවා. 700 students. Yeah, well done. Right. එහෙනම් මම හිතලා පුතේ හැමෝටම lesson එක තේරුණා. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And this is a percentage lesson, right? Firstly, we read any decimal, any fractions, right? අපිට ලියන්න පුළුවන් පුතේ කොහොමද? Percentage එකක් විදිහට. Right. Now I'm going to like these questions. අපි ටිකක් බලමු මෙහෙම questions ටිකක්. Right, like this. Now look at this. Right? Pretty short note එකක් දෙන්නම මෙන්න මෙහෙම එකක්. Right? Any fraction, right? And you know how to write as a percentage, right? Now this one, any decimal, any decimal number you can write as a percentage. පුතේ ඕනම decimal number එකකුත් මට ලියන්න පුළුවන් percentage එකක් විදියට. Now method is also multiply by the 100. Multiply by the 100, right? එහෙනම් decimal number එකක් ආවත් ලියන්න පුළුවන්. Look at this example. 0.3. Second one, 0.04. Third one, 1.6. Now tell me, now tell me, 0.3, how to write as a percentage? එහෙනම් පුතේ percentage එකක් විදිහට ලියන්නේ කොහොමද? කොහොම අපේනෝ? Yeah. Now look at this. The method number one is multiplying by the 100%. Therefore, 0.3 multiplied by the 100. අපි දන්නවා පුතේ 0.3 multiplied by 100 means decimal number you need to multiply by the 100. And this is a 0.3. Multiplying by 100 means you need to move the decimal point to the right hand side. How many times? 2 times. We discuss of the decimals, right? Now, this one go to this one times and put the 0 and go to the second term. Now, then answer becomes 30%. 30%. දැක්කද වෙච්ච වැඩේ? A decimal number එකක් පුතේ ආවොත් you need to multiply by the 100 also. Now this is a change as a decimals number into the percentage. 0.3 multiplied by 100. 0.3 you need to move the decimal point 2 times to the right hand side and 1, 2. Now look at this. 0.04 multiplied by the 100. That's so easy because this is a decimal point 1, 2. Now answer is just only 4%. Just only 4%. Now look at this third one 1.6 multiplied by the 100. Now you know 1.6. This is a decimal point. 1 times අපි move වුණා. Now how to move? There are no number. Therefore put the 0 here and move. Now answer becomes 160%. Right. හැමෝටම තේරෙනවද ඒක? නියමයි 160%. And this is short note about the decimal number. අනා පුතේ fraction or decimal. Any fraction, any decimal, how to change as a percentage? Same method, multiply by the 100. අපි ලස්සන මේක ලියාගමු. Right. Now look at the board. And now you know the first one. Any fraction, any decimal, as well as any ratio, you can change as a percentage. Percentage. As well as any percentage, you can change as a fraction, decimals, and the ratio also. එකත් පුළුවන් වෙන්න ඕන අනිත් පැත්තටත් පුළුවන් වෙන්න ඕන. And find the quantities, right? And you have to calculate the percentage values of the other quantity as well as the ratios into the percentage, right? And මේක තමයි අපි හොයපු lesson එකේ සේරම ටික. ඉතින් ඔය ඔක්කොම, right? There are 6 exercises in your textbook, right? ඉතින් homework එක තමයි පුතේ ඔයාලට පුළුවන් තරම් ගණන් හදන්න ඕන, right? 18.1, 18.6, 18.1 to 18.6. There are so many questions in your textbook, right? Yeah, in your textbook. Textbook එකේ තියෙන questions ගොඩාක්, right? ඉතින් අපි paper class එකත් එක්ක හම්බ වෙමු. අපි තියෙනවා Monday paper class එක. Second term exam එක එනවා ළඟදීම, right? At the end of the July, right? The 21, 17, 21 and 28, right? These sort of numbers, right? Days අපි කතා කරමු paper segment එකෙන්. අපි හම්බ වෙමු. හැමෝම පාඩම් කරගෙන ලකුණු ගොඩක් ගන්න ඕන. එන හැමෝටම God bless you and bye.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
Great day, sir. Goodbye, sir.
Goodbye, Wanka. Goodbye.